Hi, I'm Amy Baldwin, and this is Laurie Hazard, and we are coming to you from the College Success Collaborative, a place where we hope eventually people will start uh, congregating for collegiality and communication and all kinds of support. I tried to get all the C's in there, but it didn't happen. Um, want to talk to you, Lori, about kind of the 6 areas of adjustment. It's a lovely framework. It's foundational work. Can you share a little bit about what it is and how it came to be?
Sure. Many moons ago, when I was trying to develop, it was a study skills course, really. When I was in graduate school, I was tasked with doing that as a graduate assistantship. And I think at the time when we were thinking about student success and retention, it was really focused on students' academic and classroom performance. And as a person who came out of education and psychology, I was recognizing that there was not as much attention given to the social emotional pieces of what it takes to be successful as students are transitioning from their secondary education to higher education. And then, you do your dissertation, and then years later, I'm creating a textbook and looking at the themes in it and recognizing that I'm covering all of these facets of student adjustment. And as I was doing faculty and staff development through the years for my first year experience courses and programs, I was framing the discussion around these 6 areas of adjustment, which are academic, social, emotional, financial, cultural, and intellectual. And I also recognize that not only did this framework help really get faculty and staff to understand that holistic perspective of what students were experiencing, but it was a framework that was very helpful to get parents, families, and partners to understand what students were experiencing. And so when I started working more closely with parents, families, and partners, I thought I've got to sort of formalize this framework. And so a good colleague of mine and I did some research on the 6 areas of adjustment, and you know did some articles related to it, and so that's sort of how the framework was born.
And why do you think it's important to include 6 areas of adjustment, either in professional development for faculty, and to share that with students as well as a framework?
Yeah, I think that's such a great question, Amy, because when you're supporting students and you're trying to assess why they might be having challenges and struggling. You could have one student who is doing incredibly in the academic arena. So for many years, as somebody who's tracking success and retention at an institution, we might pull midterm grades, and you look at student midterm grades, and from every objective measure, there's a cohort of students who is doing great, right? They're getting A's and B's at midterms. But then I would hear from my student affairs partners that this student's struggling with homesickness. So even though, that emotional adjustment, even though they're doing well academically, they're miserable, right? So I think students could be incredibly social and being integrated and joining clubs and organizations, but then at midterms they're failing things. And so I think it allows us to think about, we have to think about everything that a student's experiencing, and support them through all of those different facets of that psychology of adjustment.
Yeah, and I was gonna say I see the flip side of that too is great academics or fine academics and really poor social and adjustment, and that colors their wanting to go home or transfer, things like that. Um, so sharing that with students, you said holistic kind of approach. Is it also something to make sure that whenever you're teaching a course that you're addressing those things through strategies and resources as well?
Yeah, I think using that 6 areas of adjustment as a framework, and in the pilot study, for example, for my dissertation, I have so many rich quotes from students that really address, as they're discussing their college experience, you can see in the richness of their narratives that they will talk about how, I knew my academics had to step up if I wanted to come back next year and still have this circle or group of friends. So I think using case studies aligned with those 6 areas of adjustment and class discussions can really bring it to light for both students and faculty.
Great. Well, if you want to know more about the course or more about 6 areas of adjustment, reach out to us at collegesuccesscollaborative@gmail.com. There's also a link in the comments to the course if you're interested. So thank you so much, Lori. Appreciate the little mini lesson that you gave us.